Oh no, your tooth is stuck. Time for some PFOing so you know where you're going. Yes, it can happen, and that's why you need an orthodontic specialist to be observing your situation, your teeth, to be on your team so that he or she can help identify if you have teeth that are not following the ideal eruption pattern. So I'm gonna show you what you do. You know this, check out our other videos. The impacted canine. Don't let this be you, because it's gonna cost extra money and not the funnest. I think it's cool, but it's not the funnest. Let's go. There it is, that's the gold chain. Okay? Remember, if a tooth is stuck in your mouth or down in your bottom jaw or in your top jaw, right? You can't get it. And so we have to find a way to attach something to it so we can pull it down. Well, we send you typically to an oral surgeon, periodontist. Sometimes the general dentist will do it, but if it's way up there or way down there, they don't feel as comfortable digging into the bone and removing bone and tissue in order to get to the tooth because it's covered in bone and tissue. Well, anyways, most people do a little, it's kind of like a bracket that's got a chain, like a gold chain that's attached to the bracket. You glue that to the tooth and then you pull the chain down through the tissue, and sometimes you cover the tissue back up over the chain. All right, so that's it. That's the gold chain that it's hooked on, right? Showing you right there. Sometimes it's really long and we have to cut it down over time as more and more comes through. Look at that. So this is kind of cool, right? I'm gonna show you. This is called the Ballista spring. I learned it from one of my faculty members. Anyways, it's a cool technique to apply light continuous force to the tooth over time so that it comes into place. You don't have to, we call activate it, meaning sometimes you can just take a little stretchy rope and go through the chain and hook it to the wires and just tie it, and every couple weeks you have to redo that in order to make it so that it's continually pulling on it. Well, with the little spring, something that we bend in the wire and it bends over like this, and then over time it boop. See my hand really focus, bend over and up. So we're going to, we got a very strong wire on the very bottom. We've got two wires going on here. We got the very strong base wire that holds all the other teeth, and we've got the space there where the tooth isn't, and that's where we built the spring. So it's the second wire that's over the top of your other wires that we tie in with those colors, and we're gonna tie this chain to that spring. Watch, look at that. You can see the chain coming through the gums. We're trying to be gentle because sometimes when you pull, oh, that's like the camera right. I'm watching the camera. Oh, look, we're gonna cut it. Gotta sneak it under there. Sometimes you cut it before you get the wire in, but in this case, we're cutting it after. There's my hat. So now the chain is smaller. And the reason why you want the chain smaller sometimes is because it allows the spring to activate more. You can push it further down and then it can come up more. If the chain is really long, then you can only bend it over so far before it hits the chain. Gold piece, I was showing the gold piece. There it is, the stretchy rope. You can use lots of different things like a wire, different kinds of thickness of this particular flexible rope. Gotta funnel it through that really small space. Oh look, we got it. Let go. I'm trying to push it through more so I can grab it. Push. Grab it on the other side. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so now it's through the gold chain. Push it back through, not through the gold chain, but back underneath the wire. Okay, here we go. This is awesome. This could be you. Hopefully you try to prevent this from happening in the first place. If you want to know how to do that, check out our other video. Okay, now I've got to send it through the spring. Hang on, we're gonna change course here. I'm gonna go from the other direction so it doesn't push it back out. Hang on, it's not working with my finger pressure. It's very floppy, and so you have to be very controlled with it. Oh, there we go, that was easy. Popped it right back through. We do a double loop through the loop at the end. So the spring has a little circle at the end, and that's what we tie the string to. Okay, now watch this loop. Look at that, bend. It's flexing over. That's activating the spring. So over time, it's gonna, what's gonna be tricky about this is that sometimes you can bite on the spring, so we have to make it smaller if it's sticking too far in between your teeth. Over time, as the tooth moves, it can come up and again interfere with the way that you bite, but it can be really effective if you can get it in there well. Tie it a couple times, boom. Look at that. One thing, if you pause right here too, is if you zoom in, there is a spring on one of the wires, spring to help open up the space so you can pull the big tooth in. Well, we leave that in place because when you pull a tooth down, it makes the teeth on the side want to try and collapse in. We don't want that, so we're holding the space open. We're also tied on, okay, to the tooth that's way up high, and we're gonna pull it into place with this little spring. Sometimes you might touch that little piece with your tongue, like the string, and just try not to mess with it. We don't want it to break or pop off. We don't want it to interfere with your bite so much that you can't eat. That would be bad. We would have to adjust the spring for that. But if you touch it a little bit, that's probably not the end of the world. Look at that. Turn to the side. There's the chain coming out of the gums. There's the spring. Look at that, look at that. Now you can see the camera just a little bit. Look at that. It's attached to the spring. How cool. I'm gonna pull that thing right down. Whoop. Most of the time these teeth can come down, especially if they're not like super in like weird positions, like tipped upside down or completely horizontal. A lot of teeth are like just diagonal and they need to be pulled down or pulled back into place. And that is the technique that we like to use, called the Ballista technique. So if you've made it to that point and you have a stuck tooth, your orthodontist may have their own technique about trying to tie it up and pull it into place. Sometimes we do that. Sometimes we like to use the spring to try and pull it into place more efficiently. Anyways, again, check out our other videos. There are ways to try to avoid having teeth that get stuck. But if you need an orthodontist, come find us. I'd love to help you. Or share this with your friends in case they have stuck teeth. But if you can, continue to watch the channel so that we can open your eyes to the wonderful world of straight teeth and beautiful bites. That's all I've got. Just a little PFOing so you know where you're going.